Come to standing, feet hip width apart. Lift and roll your shoulders. This opens the brain and energy pathways into the brain. And breathing in, raise the hands up, reverse. Press your feet down, stretch up. Breathing out, go to the side. Come into the center, stretch up. Breathing out, go to the other side, and you can pulse, but feel that your head is balanced between your hands. Now, I notice that I might not always do that. So come up to the center, and breathing out, turn to one side, rotation. You can pulse if you want to. Come to the side and turn to the other direction, pulsing. Come to the center and just raise your heels, just see how your balance is today. Excellent. And then just breathing out, lower your heels, lower your hands to shoulder height. Breathing out, turn and look beyond the third finger of one hand. Come to the center and breathing out, turn and look beyond the third finger of the other hand. And then come to the center. And then breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. I have to say, Judy, you're fantastically symmetrical, really balanced, really body balance. It's brilliant. And then just lift and roll your shoulders. And sliding your hands down your knees. Press your hands onto your shins. Breathing in, lengthen from the tailbone to the top of the spine. Breathing out, bend in. This activates the vagus nerve, which is implicated in the anti-inflammation. Breathing in, lengthen along your spine. Stay here as you breathe out, and breathing in, press your feet into the ground as you roll up to standing. And breathing in, raise your hands up, stretch your fingers. Breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders and clasp your hands behind you. Aim your knuckles to the ground. So this opens you up at the front, your lung meridians here. And particularly at this part of the time of the year, and particularly this time, is really helpful. Turn to the left, come to the center, and turn to the right, and come to the center. Release your hands. So I've had some, well, anyway, it's a long story, but COVID, I was talking to a Swami, who's a very yogic guru, over the last couple of days, and she was re-emphasising that masks aren't necessarily the most brilliant thing for protecting you. And something called, well, there are a couple of things. Something called Neti is brilliant. So I don't know if you've ever come across Neti, and I'm very happy to talk you through that. It's a saline wash. You get sprays, but in the yogic world, it's like a little teapot with a little pinch of salt that it goes, washes around the back of the nose. But the other thing that you can do is a couple of breathwork exercises. One is the classic breathing alternate nostrils. But then there are some exercises that particularly clear the upper lungs, which is where you want to clear out anything that's potentially harbouring. So this exercise, which we have done before, works on that. You're sniffing or breathing the air in and out through your nose, forcefully, and raising your arms. So you can breathe in normally yogically through your nose, but this is, you can do your mouth if you're at home. So breathing in, and last one, hold the breath and breathing out, lower your arms. And just slow down, come either side So for you and Richard, if you're doing nothing else, but you want to boost your immune system, this is the main one to do. There are 3 exercises connected with this. Parts 2 and part 3 are equally valid, but it's the first one that we did that really does expel all the stale air and toxins from your system. And you'll notice that when you breathe out, your tummy or abdomen engages, and this activates your core and really does get rid of all stale toxins. You're emphasising your breath out, and then just goes to and fro. So I am going to do the other 2 because I think they're interesting. And this next one is the middle lung. So just have your hands underneath you, in your armpits, just forward for me works. This alone opens your lungs. Your elbows bashing or just touching your ribs, if you want them to do that, just activate the ribs as well. So again, just breathing in. And last one. And then just sway from side to side. When you raise your arms up above your head, it's more work for your heart to pump your arms upwards. So if Richard wanted to do it, or you were concerned with Richard in any way, then this one at shoulder in your arm level is more restful for the heart, if that makes sense. And then the third one, all 3 together, it's like a total booster for the body and mind. And it comes from the Kerala warrior tradition of fighting the enemy on their defence system. And then coming to the last one is here, your lower abdominal area. And last one, and then just sway from side to side. So those 3, but particularly the first one, is a massive booster. If you've been out shopping or you've been anywhere with people and you're worried and you want to really do clear out, just as an anti-COVID boost, those 3 will really, the first one in particular, but those 3 will really, really do it. If you really wanted to, if you were really worried, you would need to do each exercise, or one exercise, 25 times to be completely effective. So I just think that's worth bearing in mind, because as we come to winter and Christmas, we're going to be far more connected with people indoors with eating and goodness knows what else. So whatever works. So just come to standstill, lift and roll your shoulders, and then coming to the top of the mat, as it's just you, and I know that you're quite...
Patsy here.
Oh, hi Patsy! I can just move the thing. Right, hi. Oh, is that Sarah as well?
Hi.
No, it's you. Oh, you're not in blue. Goodness, that's amazing. Well, there is a bit of blue on your jumper, but right. So, as you're both perfectly okay with this, I'm going to just work you slightly harder, if that's all right. Because I've got nobody here saying it was too hard, so I hope not anyway. Breathing in, breathing out, hands together. Breathing in, hands up, looking ahead or up. Breathing out, bend your knees as you roll down. Keep high as you step your right foot back. And And then high again as you step your left foot back. You're going to be in plank. Hold your body in a straight line, heels up. Then bend your knees, come to lying, and stretch your hands straight out in front of you. Really stretch. Slide your hands back to your chest, elbows in, press your hands down. As you come to your knees, tuck your toes, and then feel you can adjust your hands and your feet as you come into your first downward dog. I'm adjusting my feet slightly wider and inwards. Just slide your bottom from side to side, and the invitation is to walk the dog as well by bending one knee and then bending the other knee. And then making it slightly harder, but do say if this is too much for you, look to the space between your hands as you bring your left foot slightly forwards and inwards. Then lift your right leg up, extend your right heel, still keep to look between your hands, and then step your right foot up between the two hands, and then your left foot. Press your feet down as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Hands up, breathing out, hands down. Was that too hard, stepping forward like that?
No.
Okay, because I'm going to speed it up.
Great.
As I said, I can't always do this depending on who's in the class. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up, breathing out, roll down. Step back high, left foot, right foot, you're in plank. Bend your knees to the ground, come to lying, stretch your hands out. Slide your hands back, elbows in, come to kneeling, tuck your toes, adjust your feet and your hands if you need to come into your second downward dog. Walk the dog by moving your bottom from side to side. And then bend your knees, bring your right foot slightly forward and in, lift your left foot up, extend your left heel, look to the space between your hands, and step up, left foot, right foot, press your feet down as you roll up vertebra by vertebra, stretch your hands up, and lower your hands back down alongside you. So I'm not going to talk through the next round quite so much. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up, breathing out, roll down. Step back, right foot high, left foot high, plank. Knees down to the ground, tummy. Stretch your hands out. Hands back to your chest, press your hands down onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward dog. Walk the dog. And then do whatever you need to lift your right foot high. You might want to bring your left foot forward. Look to the space between your hands, step up with your right foot, left foot, press your feet down as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Hands up, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up, breathing out, roll down. Step back, left foot, right foot high into plank. Come to either kneeling or come straight down in chaturanga, which is incredibly difficult, and then come to the ground. Stretch your hands out, slide your hands back, press your hands down, tuck your toes, coming into soft downward dog. Walk the dog. And then bending your knees, left leg up, look to the space between your hands, step forward your left foot, right foot, press your feet down as you roll up, vertebra by vertebra, lowering your hands. So this time it's a one breath per movement, so please speed up again for the last round. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathe out as you lower. Step back, right foot, left foot, and then lower either straight down or onto your knees. Stretch your hands out as you inhale. Bring your hands back, press down, tuck your toes as you exhale into a downward dog. And then come straight to lifting your right leg and stepping forward. Right leg, left leg, press your feet down as you roll up. Breathing out, lower your hands. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathing out, roll down. Step back, left foot, right foot high. Either come to kneeling and lying or come straight down into chaturanga. Stretch your hands out. Hands back either side, press down. With your hands, tuck your toes, coming into downward dog. Lift your left leg, look to the space between your hands and step forward. Left foot, right foot. Press your feet down as you roll up, vertebra by vertebra. To standing, stretch your hands up and lower your hands. And just take a moment to have your feet hip width apart and just sway from side to side, just getting your balance. And then come to standing. So this next exercise is one in mindfulness, really. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, hands down. Take a quarter of a turn to your right. Hands straight up, that's harder. Hands straight down. Hands straight up. And hands straight down. Take another quarter of a turn, so you'll be away from me. We'll be back to back. And just come back to the original, hands up at the side. Breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up at the side. Breathing out, hands down. Take another quarter of a turn. Breathing in, hands out. Breathing out, hands back. Breathing in, hands out. Breathing in, hands back. Come back to the beginning. Breathing in, hands out to the side. Breathing in, hands back. Breathing in, hands out. And then breathing in, hands back and lower. So that moving around and slightly changing the hand positions disconnects your mind from any thought patterns in theory, so it becomes a mindfulness exercise. And then breathing in. Take one hand holds one wrist, it doesn't matter which, and then just slightly go to the side. Come to the centre, take the wrist of the other hand, stretch it up, and then just come over. So actually you're much better than me, because when you come over, you've got to try and keep your head centre between your hands. And you're both pretty good at that, actually. Just do that again. And then come back and lower your hands. Just lift and roll your shoulders. And then place your left hand on above your left side, waist or really behind you, bottom sort of just above onto your waist. Breathing in, right hand up, breathing out, bend your knees, touch your right fingers to the ground. Breathing in, hand up, right hand, stretch up and almost back. Breathing out, lowering. Hands, right hands to the ground. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, round down. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, coming down. Breathing in, up. And breathing out, coming down. Breathing in, coming up. And lowering both hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Now place your right hand on wherever it's comfortable. Breathing in, stretching up, stretch your fingers. Breathing out, coming down. Breathing in, hands up. Breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up. So this is actually cleansing your magnetic field. Breathing in, hands up, just breaking the connection, almost going through your aura. and making the next one the last one, and just release your hand. Lift and roll your shoulders, and we're going to come now to the mat. So come to have your feet hip width apart. We'll start with our feet, our knees bent and feet on the mat. And just take a moment to sway the knees from side to side. Come to the centre. Breathing in, raise your arms up behind you, and as you did before, hold one wrist, extend that arm, and then just gently bring the arm where you're holding the wrist to the midline, to the centre. Change hands as you stretch the other arm up, and then very gently take your stretched arm to the midline and feel the stretch along the side. Come back to the centre, and breathing out, lower your hands back down alongside you. Just take a couple of pelvic tilts, so it's like your cat-cow but lying on the ground. And then keeping your right foot where it is, or feel to adjust it, hug your left knee into your chest. Just circle your left knee in one direction, so this is very good for your hip, and then circle your left knee in the other direction. Hold under your left thigh, stretch your left leg up to the ceiling, extend your left heel and point your left toes. Extend the heel and point the toes. Extend the heel and point the toes. And circle now your left ankle in one direction, so you're waking up the energy meridians. And then circle your left heel, ankle in the other direction. And then slide your hands or walk them up the back of your left leg, bringing your left leg towards you. You might want to go to your left foot, it just very much depends on your arm capacity really. And lift up your head. You don't have to do that, you can just hold where it's comfortable on your left leg. And then slide your head down, bend your left knee into your chest, turn your left knee out to the side, resting your left ankle on your right thigh, hands resting on your abdomen or on the floor, and just sway and rock from side to side. So you lift your hip off the ground. Really cross your left leg over your right. Lift both feet. Take your hands and slide them down so that you're holding your shins. So your right hand is holding your left shin and your left hand is holding your right shin. And you'll feel this opening you up the sacral area, just hugging in. You can rock from side to side as well if you want to, but hugging in is also quite nice. And then unraveling your legs, you can support them under your thighs if you want to, hugging both knees into the chest. And then very gently place your feet on the ground. Just once more sway your knees from side to side. As you bring your attention to the right side, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Holding the right knee, just circle the right knee a couple of times in one direction, and you'll feel this in your hips. And then circle your right knee in the other direction. And then dropping your hands to your right thigh, begin to extend your right leg. Extend your right heel and point it. Extend your right heel and point. And extend your right heel and point your toes. And then very gently circle your right ankle in one direction. And then circle your right ankle in the other direction. And then walk your hands up the back of your right leg. Just stop where you feel that's good for you. You can carry on to hold your right foot, but only if that's comfortable for you. If you're very flexible, you can extend your left leg along the floor. And you can optionally lift your head up off the floor and then bring your head back. Bend your right knee in towards you. If you have extended your left leg along the floor, now bend your left knee so that your left foot's on the floor. And open your right knee out to the right as you place your right ankle on the left leg. Hands either on the abdomen or on the floor beside you, and then just gently sway from side to side. And then just gently cross your right leg over your left properly, lift both feet off the ground, and slide your hands down your shins so that you're holding either the ankles or just above the ankles. You'll find that you'll naturally hold your left ankle with your right hand and your right shin with your ankle with your left. And this again opens you up at the lower sacral level, but also something little on the outside of your hip as well. If you just pull your ankles in, just check that your chin's not shooting up to the ceiling, and then just enjoy that stretch. Unravel your legs, hug your knees into your chest as you rock from side to side. And then slide your hands down your shins to hold at the ankles. Your hands might come inside your ankles. You're coming into a kind of supine Baddha Konasana or supine cobbler's pose. And you can just rock from side to side. So it's the same way that we opened up under the arms. Here we're opening up at the inner groin, which equally constitutes or forms part of our lymph system, the energetic flow. And then you can either hold your ankles or hold your big toes, again depending on your capacity. Come into happy baby pose. Happy baby pose you do generally hold under your foot, but this is just holding your toes momentarily to then extend your feet upwards. If this is too much of a stretch for you, then just hold your shins or your ankles. But if you can hold your big toes with your second and third fingers, your thumb over, just gently rock from side to side. And you'll feel this stretch on the inner thigh, but it also becomes an inversion. And you can rock from side to side or stay static. And then bring your big toes together, if your hands will allow that. If not, just drop your hands further down your leg. Slide your hands down now to clasp behind your legs and just a seaweed action going from side to side. And then just rub your legs, rub the front of your legs, you can bend your knees, rub your shins, rub under. You can tap as well if you prefer that. You're just moving energy through your body. And then supporting your legs as you place your feet back down onto the ground, and hands can either go on your abdomen or go alongside you on the floor as you just pelvic tilt again. You can actually include in your pelvic tilt, lifting your bottom up, which becomes now a bridge, and then breathing out, lower your bottom back down to the ground. And again, a bridge, if you want to. You can include in your bridge lifting your hands up, so it becomes a rolling bridge. And then breathing out, lower your hands back down alongside you. Now just gently turn your head from side to side. So this is moving the neck area. And once more, hug your knees into your chest. Still hold the knees as you let them move away to arm's length. Hug your knees into your chest and let them drift away to arm's length. Just notice if you're using your hands to pull your knees in or whether you're actually letting your abdominal muscles do the work. Yogically, you should let the abdominal muscles do your work, but it is very comforting to just pull your knees into your chest. So whatever works for you is really helpful. And then very gently bring your feet to the ground. Raise your arms up above your head. You can hold your wrists or your elbows, and you can make your feet wider than hip width apart as you gently sway from side to side. You can lift your your hips off the ground to do this. And how much you sway is down to you. You can always bring your knee into the ground. Really sway up, and it massages across your lower abdomen area, your lower abdominal area, and then come back to the centre. And then it's quite cold today, so either come to spend a couple of moments lying on the ground. But if you're cold and you want to sit up, then please do come to a seated position. And I did a relaxation on Saturday, so I got all the singing bowls out. But I thought I would just go through the koshis. So these are the koshis, these little things here. So different systems recognise different elements. So in the koshis, they only have 4 elements. And the upper elements of the throat, which is air, all these 3 are air, they don't include. So this, if you bring your attention to the base abdominal, lower abdominal part, this is the earth or terra or lower abdominal area. And then we just slightly move up to behind the navel as we come into the water element. And the water element connects to the kidneys and behind the adrenal glands, above the adrenals, on top of the kidneys. And then you've got your digestive system included here. But then as we focus on the digestive system and this central area, you come into the fire element. And the fire element is around the digestive system. And you're kind of moving to the heart sort of area. And then from the heart area, you're going up slightly, you are actually improving the throat here as you go to air. The really upper area is the ether, but this is air, and this is all around the throat area. And sound emits a vibration, and a vibration is the antithesis of stagnation. So sound can access parts of both you physically and emotionally that exercise doesn't necessarily. And then the 2 elements that combine very well together in sound are water and air. So just very, very gently letting the sound move away. The sounds, as I said, permeate our layers in a way that other things don't necessarily do so. And then just take a moment to take a bow for yourself, to have a lovely day ahead, and thank you very much for joining me.